Yo, it's JSF. So today we finally got the Rambo guide. Finally here. Finally Rambo time. And I think Rambo is actually a pretty good character. I know I joked about Rambo being a premier zoner a lot. Like, I joke about it and think it's super funny. But he actually does have some pretty good zoning. And he's got a lot of tools. I'm going to start off by going through his tournament variations, just because this is the simplest way to showcase all his moves. Then I'll go into some variations that I made, and which will end up going over the rest of his moves. So, his first tournament variation, we got First Blood. And he's got Snare Trap and Leopard Crawl. I'm going to talk about Leopard Crawl first because it's going to be super short. That is this move. I don't think this move is very good. You know, if you crawl far enough, whatever it is, you get the KB, which is kind of a cool thing, right? Like if you get that crawl distance, press B, standing forward to stand back up. You know, and you can cancel into this too, so you can do like factory 3 into the grab, boom, you know, back to 2 into, you know, into the swipe. And the options out of it are a low swipe. So if you do one or jab or square or whatever your button is on your controller, I wasn't gonna say standing one, but it's kind of crouching one. If you do that, he'll do a swipe. 12 frames. If you do 3, he'll do a parry, and if you do 2, he'll do the grab, and 4 is to get back up, right? Gets up pretty fast. Once he gets back up, he can block, but when he's in this stance, and he cannot block. That's really important to know. Now, mids will whiff. As you can see, right, Joker's forward 1, his mid cannot hit Rambo while he's in this. Literally not possible. It's really stupid. So there's that, but this does have it has its place, but not really. So 1, it's interruptible, right? Take over the swipe, you can, and if you have a 7 frame down 1, you can interrupt it, or faster. Because if I do this with Frost, it'll trade. It'll trade if I do it with Frost. But I can beat it out clean with the 7 frame. But here's the thing. Oh, this is the grab. You can obviously hit him out of the grab too. But if they try to hit you, you can do the parry. And you know, if you've crawled far enough and you do the parry, you can get the KB. So there's that. But then at the same time, you can jump and punish pretty much every option out of this. It's like if I try to do it late, he might swipe me out the air. But if I make the read on it, you can just jump straight out of it. You know. And I can hit him with that jump kick. It is possible. I'm just timing it wrong. But yeah, I just don't think that move is that great. Especially when you see Rambo's other moves that this replaces. I don't think it's worth using. But Snare Trap, this move is good. This is your, all intents and purposes, your combo launcher. Your combo launcher, 31% damage off of it is really, really good. It's also a low, so there's that. And you can just use it in like zoning wars or something. And he ducks. Rambo has this habit of ducking when he does a lot of his moves, which is really powerful because he low profiles everything. So like I can go under your projectile and launch you. So that's something that's really, really, really good. And it's the same with his down back 4, right? And this has a closed version and a far version. It low profiles all high fireballs in the game. And it does a knockdown, which makes it really, really good. Super powerful, 20 frames. And also anti-airs, so like, it'll smack them literally it'll smack them out of the air, as you can see, right? It's super good. It's really, 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 really good. His other base moves, he's got his bow and arrow. I think his bow and arrow is pretty bad. As you can see, the arrow is very tiny. It's very high up. It's very easy for the opponent to just go under it, right? This is Joker cross blocking. Like, you're really only gonna hit somebody with this if they're like jumping or they're mashing something. Like, this isn't very useful. Like, you can shoot a, you can shoot up to like 3 at a time. You can do that, but I just don't think it's very good. Let's put him back to normal. Let's talk about his normals a little bit. I went straight into his special moves. Didn't even go into his normals. Yeah. I believe that's it for his specials and his variation. Anyway, Honeywell Snare Trap, Whip Trap. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so his normals, right? 7 frame down 1, -6. 9 frame down 3. Just block everything right now, Joker, please. Down 3 is pretty good. It's -7, but it's all good. His down 4, I don't like at all. Just because the falling and getting up animation, I don't really like it. I wouldn't advise using it. Sweep is whatever, nothing special. His down 2 is eh. The hitbox is really weird. It hits really far in front of you sometimes, but doesn't do much for hitting above you, but it's okay, I guess. Not the worst one in the game, but it's all right. Let's see, we got 4-3. This is a high, but I think this button is kind of important because if you can enforce this in your game plan, I think it's pretty good because it's -3. It can be -2, and then you're at this space where like neutrals reset, like. So you can press whatever you want, basically. It's pretty good. He has back 3, which is a 12 frame mid, -6. Then you can go into the second hit, -7. As you saw, the first hit can land sometimes. Sometimes the second hit has a wonky hitbox, but it's a pretty good string. It's his highest damage starter, I believe, as well. Standing for is this. His back one's really important. 11 frame mid, -1 on block. You can go into this one, back 2-2. I might have said back 1, it's back 2. So back 2, back 2-2 is -6. So you can stop here. There's also special cancelable, which makes it really good. There's that. Then the ender is back 2-2-4. It's -1 and it's an overhead. Right, really important. There is a gap. And if they flaws block the gap, you're punishable, you're -11. But then you could also do this back 2-2-1, which is -11. But there's no gap here, and if they're trying to blow up the flawless block gap, they might get hit by that. Or you could just cancel it into something, and you get a bit of a not really the realest mix-up in the world, but that comes out in 21 frames. There's that, and then other low specials that we'll get into later. You can even go into the crawl when they're expecting to block the overhead, or you can just use it as a stagger and do nothing, poke after or something, You can also use back 3 as a stagger, or just the first hit, I want to say. Yeah, and you're -6, and look where you are. Pretty good. He's got back 1, which is a really good string, 18 frame mid, but it is 18 frames, obviously, because the second hit's an overhead, and the third hit's an overhead. And like I said, he's got some low specials, Feel free to have fun with this. This string is completely safe with no gaps. Yeah, no gaps or anything, completely safe. Feel free to have a blast doing this, even though that's obviously punishable and has a gap in it, but, they might expect you to go into a low on the second hit, you bonk them with the second hit, and then on the hit, this just grants you a knockdown, right? And then do whatever you want to do from there. And we got his forward 1 string and forward 2 string. So forward 2 is a mid, 13 frames. Second hit comes out in 30 frames. So do what you will with that information. And then the last hit is an overhead, which is unsafe. I do not think this string is that great. Just for many reasons. There's situations like where this is where we're gonna get into some of Rambo's whiffing issues. The situations where, let's see if I can show it. I don't think Joker's one of the characters. But you see how how I hit him right there? Like how I traded on the second hit? Like even though I blocked the first hit, I can still trade with a down one. Now there are other characters who do that better than Joker can, like Johnny Cage, drop the katana. Basically, you can block the first hit and still poke and hit him. You basically get if he uses that string, some characters get a free punish. Not like a full combo punish, but they get a free poke. And you get a poke, you can start your offense. So I don't think that string is that good, so I'm not really gonna ever talk about this string, but that's the reason why. And then the last hit is unsafe. Oh yeah, not to mention gap. There's definitely a gap. And then we have forward 1. 11 frame mid. Let me turn it off for a second. 11 frame mid -7. 4-1-2 is -10, which is punishable. The last hit is -30 with pushback, but that is because it's a launcher. You can get a little more off of it. Just a little, combo just to show that, right? It's a launcher. But like you saw, it is unsafe. Not to mention, there's a flawless block gap right there, and if you do flawless block it, if you look at my button inputs, the last hit will not come out. So if they flawless block the second hit, you're dead to rights -10. And you're so close that every character in the game can jab punish you. So yeah, I don't use this string very often, but this can be a good punish string if you don't have meter or something. Like if you don't have meter or something, and then you want to just go for something like that, 23% meterless, not bad, right? So it has its uses for that, but I wouldn't use this this string on block unless you want to get into some gimmicks that we're gonna get into later. Did I forget anything? Oh, forward 4, the drop kick. This button is amazing. Now, it is -11. I want to try this. Oh no, that's 13 frames. I don't want to say this is completely safe, because I know that there are pokes that can punish it, but I think for the most part, yeah, it's pretty safe. Like it's like feel free to throw it out the overhead. It doesn't really have range like Aaron Black's, but it's pretty safe. And I'm sure you know about the crush and blow. If you land 2 in a row, crush and blow, and this is great because you can end your combos in it, and now it's like overhead city. You know what I mean? Like, boom. Or if they break away, it's an armor breaker, and you get a shit ton of damage. So he has a really, really good armor breaker, and this is just a really good KV to have in general. So this move is really good. It's really important. You're gonna see it. You're gonna use it if you're playing Rambo. Super, super good. I already went over the moves in this variation. The launcher, which is really good, and then the crawl, which I don't love. Let's look at some of his other variations. What we got? Variation 2. Okay, so we got log trap. What else we got? Hidden M60 and Claymore. Oh man. So Hidden M60 replaces the bow and arrow, which I think this move is actually a lot better. It's very slow if you look at the startup. It's super slow. The EX starts up faster, shoots some more bullets. It doesn't do that much damage, and it does not. It looks like it would do a lot of chip, but the amount of chip it does is literally nothing. Like it does about as much chip as this, right? Like even EX doesn't do very much chip, but this is still important for like last breath because it's a lot of hits, right? So if they have very low health, this is gonna chip them out because it's like 30 hits or like 20 hits, right? You know, it's just gonna do that. It's really important. Log trap is kind of what it is. It's a mid, but from full screen, it whiffs. It doesn't, you know, go from full screen. If you EX it, it has more range. You know, it has a crushing blow. It says the crushing blow requirement is that it hits 3 times in a row, but I've had it hit 3 times in a row and not trigger the crushing blow. I don't think this move is that great just because it replaces his normal trap, the down back 4, the low one. Well, it hits mid, but it replaces that move, and that move is better than this. So I wouldn't advise using this unless it was like a specific matchup, or you knew like a certain character was trying to be in the air or something, like maybe a Jade player or something. I don't know, but I think this wouldn't be glow. So we also have Claymore. This move is bananas. It is exactly what it looks like, exactly what it sounds like. It's a bomb. It is an unblockable bomb, and it takes a second to start up, but once it starts up, hey, combo city. And like you can end your combos in it. And like it's great. Now the bomb can hit you, so you got to be careful. The bomb can hit you. The Claymore can definitely hit you. You know, but this move is crazy. It's really good. You can set it up in zone to kind of just keep them out for good. You can do it on a knockdown. Like this move is bananas. Like you can get a knockdown, set it up, and like, you know what I mean. You can have them. You can get them in the corner. You know, whatever you want to end your combos in, right? You can do something like that. You know, like you got some options. Like you can, like, I mean, you know, they can, like, characters can punish you. They can hit you, but the thing is, if the bomb explodes, right? So if they're gonna try to do something unsafe, like you can set them up like this. If they go anywhere, they're kind of screwed. This move is really good. It has some startup, as you can see, 26 frames. It's not the fastest thing in the world, and I think there's cooldown on when you can use it again. Oh, that might just be me messing up the input. Yeah, no, there's no cooldown. You can just keep doing it. Once it's gone, you can just put another one out. Like as soon as and the EX Claymore makes it invisible. So yeah. Have fun. Feel free to have fun with this, all the mind games in the world. You can still hear it, so you know it's there, but you can't see it. This move is really good. The only reason I wouldn't use this move all the time, no matter what, is because you cannot have this move and have the launcher. So you can't have the snare trap and the Claymore. It's the same input, and that sucks. But this move is really good. Now the thing is, you, like I just said, you don't have a launcher anymore, right? So now your only launcher is off this string. So your combo damage has been cut severely. And if this was a tournament variation, you'd have to deal with that forever. But thankfully it's not. Well, thankfully we don't have to use tournament variations. Now, we got to V3. And in this one, we got the shoulder roll. Which also replaces, oh wait, there's one thing I gotta go back and show. There is one thing I gotta go back and show. The slide. The slide is a base move. It's a base move, but the crawl replaces it and the shoulder roll in V3 replaces it, right? So the slide has the normal range, which obviously doesn't go full screen, right? But it has a longer range as well, but the longer range has more startup. You can EX it, boom, only on hit, obviously. And you can do that to the far one or the close one, doesn't really matter. His slide crushing blow is the same requirement as Sub-Zero's on the third EX. Boom! And you can obviously combo into it. So you can get over 30% unbreakable damage if you, just to show it really quickly. This is over 30%, about 35% unbreakable for landing that. You can do it off this string too. But it's a little bit less damage, not as reliable. Just like this, you know, even less damage. You get the point. Off the mix-up, boom, you know, about 30%, right? Pretty good. It's not a completely crazy fuck neutral type move, like a Sub-Zero slide, like a shadow kick, because it has a ton of startup. You can definitely react to it. In the far range version, he doesn't dip his head down till pretty late in the animation, so it won't really low profile how you want it to. So this move is not to be used thrown out neutral like you would do a slide with another character. It's more for building up the KB. You can try to go for the little mix up. Good players who know the matchup will react to that, but you can get it off for a little while. Yeah, the slide's pretty good though, because you want this crushing blow. 21% unbreakable, not bad. And you know, once you build up the KB, you get big damage. And if you don't want them to break away, or if you already use your KB on this, then you know they can break away basically without fear now. Not that they won't get hit, because you'll still even well, I don't have the launcher in this variation. Like, but if you launch them, you can still dash up down too, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the slide. It's a base move and it's a low. So it contributes, like, imagine having the snare trap and the slide. Now you have two low special moves and it makes these overheads more scary, right? So back to V3. Sorry about that. Totally forgot about that. V3 is, you have the shoulder roll. Oh, the command grab, yeah. So first, let's start with the shoulder roll. Shoulder roll is really good. As you can see, you can be full screen completely, and if you hold forward, he will go even farther. Like, there's a regular range and there's slightly farther range. I believe there's a short range as well. No, nah, there's just regular and far range. You know, you can even go to the other side of them. Like, it's pretty good. The thing is, the regular one's a mid, right? It's a mid strike. The EX is an overhead. The regular is -11, so it's unsafe. The EX is completely safe and it's an overhead. It's literally neutral on blocks. So he can do this and immediately start mashing on you. You gotta be aware. You gotta be aware of that because you don't want to get bonked, right? You don't want to get hit by anything. But yeah, this move is really good, and also it has a crushing blow on counter hit. And he can combo off of it. So, in this variation, isn't really set up with the snare trap. But imagine you have this with the snare trap. You get the crushing blow off counter hit. Crushing blow does a little bit of damage, you know, but then you can go into a whole combo off of it or whatever you want to go into, right? So it's pretty good for that as well. Like I said, he has the command grab, which I cannot do. Does about 9%. If you EX it, it does 15%. 13% if you, and you can switch sides with it, is what I was gonna say. But 13%, if you throw them backwards, it does 15%. The command grab also has a crushing blow. Of course he's blocking. Damn it, I'm really bad at this. Oh, sorry. If you EX it. So if you enhance it, if you catch a wake up roll with the command grab, enhance it, that's 32%. Pretty good. Obviously unbreakable because it's not even a combo. So it's good for that. Yeah, it's just it's a command grab. There ain't too much to talk about it. Oh, there is one more thing to mention. It might be a little hard to show. Let's keep it simple. It's a good combo ender, and we'll get into that more a little bit later. But yeah, it's a good combo ender. You can get some good damage with it. You don't need it, but if you get the most possible damage while having this as a combo ender, just important to note. And he also has, I think it's called Commando, where he gets extra enders. He gets grabs on his moves. This one is really good because it's a restand. Damn it. So it's a restand, a little bit of damage. You can oh no, I guess you can enhance this one. I'm thinking of Molina's. But yeah, this one's a restand. It's good for that. The other two are grabs or tick throws. So now off his jab string, you can end in a mid, or you can end in a throw. And with this string, right, which is minus 30 on block, death on block, you now have a grab that goes in that string too. And these are true throws, like he's really blocking, right? So if you, like I was saying earlier, if you want to go for the gimmick 4-1-2 grab or 4-1-2-2, you know, the gimmick 4-1-2-2 or 4-1-2 grab, both options are unsafe because you can just duck the throw. Like you can just duck it, you know, it's just like, it's a tick throw, but it is a high throw. So you got to remember that. You can get the gimmicks off a little bit, but you know, be careful because good players will kind of catch you slipping on that. So yeah, the commando move is okay, but it's the only thing you really gain out of it is the restand. And by the way, let's have him stand. The restand is plus 10, so you can actually do something after. It's not like Rain's water push where it's plus 4. It's actually plus 10, so you actually have some plus frames. And yeah, those are his tournament variations. But I want to show the variations I have set up because I don't think his tournament variations show all of it. Now, in this one I have Hidden M60 and Snare Trap, right? Like I said, I think Hidden M60 is better than his bow and arrow. It covers way more, and look how active it is. It's literally active for 63 frames. That means this move can hit you for a whole second. It's, you know, if you're not ducking, it's gonna be hard to avoid, right? So it's good for that. And then I got rid of the crawl, which means I have the slide. So, you know, I can play for the slide, crush and blow. You know, I can, and that's not a real mix-up, but you know, if they're not gonna fuzzy it, they'll get clapped by it. Not to mention I have the snare trap. You know, I can get 39% off, 31% off of that, or 32, I think, but I dropped the combo. Yeah, there you go. That's a BNB off of that, so I can get good damage. Like I said, I can literally catch you from full screen. I'm just bad, but yeah, I can catch you from full screen, launch you. And this variation is pretty good. I still have this move as well, so I can literally zone. This is a solid variation if you want to have combo damage. So you want to be able to punish people, right? You want to be able to punish. You want to have the option to do that. But you still want to have some zoning as well. Still want to have the slide, I guess some sort of mix. I think this is a really good base variation. Like, excuse me. If you don't know what to play at as Rambo or what moves, what abilities to pick, I think this is a good place to start. Because Hidden M60 is not an amazing projectile, but it's like these are all highs, right? But it's a usable projectile. It's better than the one he has. He has a launcher and he does have a slide. It's better than the crawl. Like, it's just a better version of his variation one, that like tournament variation one. Very basic, but I think it's very good. All right, now this variation is completely different. Oh, this one's fun. So I have the Claymore, right? The bomb. And then, you know, that kind of keeps him out. I do have the bow and arrow because I don't have the Hidden M60, but I have Artillery Strike. This is a set play move if I've ever seen a set play move. Like imagine, hold on one second. I'm in the wrong spot. Boom. Imagine you have an Artillery Strike and a Claymore. And the beauty of Artillery Strike is, one of the coolest things about this move is, even if I hit him, the missile's still coming. Like, it's still gonna come in. Now, depending on what they do with my whiff, but there are different ranges for this move. Like, there's a close range, there's a medium range, there's a far range. Like, you can literally do this on full screen. You can knock somebody down with this. Damn it. You can get this knockdown, get the Artillery Strike out, you know, like, have a blast. If they try to approach you, put a Claymore down, you know, and then the last move I have in this variation, if you didn't see earlier, the insect. You get 6% health back. If you keep doing it back over and over and over, spamming it, you get less health. Give it a little bit, you know. But it does have a crushing blow for the bug, as you saw. The requirement is if fatal blow is on cooldown or if you throw it up. And the way to throw up is to keep doing this move over and over. He will eventually throw up. I don't know how many times it is, but eventually he'll throw up and he'll be punishable. So if you use this move too many times, yeah, he'll throw up. But the good news is the next one, KB. So this is kind of a troll variation, but if you want to keep people out, you know, do what you got to do. Artillery strike, get your health back. You can do a lot. You can do a lot with that. I think that variation I think is super fun. All right, so this variation I believe snare trap, command grab, right? Yes. So this is more just to show what I was talking about is damage. So now I get, you know, 33%. I get a little bit more damage than what I would get off this combo normally. And I can EX stab for 35%. You can get really good damage just in case you need it. Not necessary, but it's good to have. And you still have a command grab, right? You still have that. So now they're afraid to wake up roll against you because you can kill them for it. But yeah, it's just a launcher with that. This is just optimal maximum damage Rambo. Pretty good. Now we got variation 4. Oh, this is so this is just like my variation. I have the Claymore, I have the bug, but instead of artillery strike, I got the hidden M60 now. Like this is just super obnoxious Rambo. The artillery strike is more set play. This is more just piss your opponent off. Like make them want to jump because you put stuff on the screen. You're doing this, and then when they jump, they get slapped out of the air with that, and you know, you get your health back. It's pretty troll, but honestly, this can really work viably competitively. You just have to try really hard. But I just think it's fun. I just think it's really fun. I think it is useful. But yeah. Now I got one last variation I want to show y'all, and then we basically got Rambo in a nutshell. So we got crawl. Oh, this is just variation. Oh, it's crawl. Oh, this variation I was just trying to make to show all of his moves. So I have the crawl, and then I have the grab enders on the strings. And yes, you can whiff the first 2 hits of a string and go for the throw. Just to put that out there. But yeah, basically that's Rambo in a nutshell. Rambo is a kind of a closer range fighter. He's not really mid-range zone like space control. Like he can control space for like his projectiles and whatnot. His best button I would have to say is back 3. He doesn't have the greatest whiff punish game. You can use forward 2. Like if you see an opponent whiff something, you can do this. You know, you can go for something like that, but the damage won't be great. I think it's best to fish for whiffs with this, with back 3. Doesn't have the greatest range either, but if it lands, you get the best damage, like you already know. And obviously with this launcher, it sets them up for the KB, you know. If you want to go for that, you just end your combos. Yeah, I think this is like, I think playing the launcher is really good for Rambo, but you don't have to. You can play the Claymore, but if you just want reliable damage, go for that. But that's basically Rambo. He got some buttons that can, you know, reach you around the mid-range, but he's not amazing in the mid-range. He has a good long-range game because this move is super good. He's got other moves. Up close, you know, 7 frame, 9 frame, low down 3. You know, his throw game is fine. Oh, Rambo does have a throw crushing blow that I didn't mention, but it does come in handy sometimes. You won't see it all the time because people are doing all kinds of nonsense, but he has to throw a crushing blow with the same requirement as Molina's, which is if you wait 10 seconds and then go for a throw, KB, and then you go for a combo. Look at the damage, it's pretty absurd. And that's another reason I think the launcher is really important to play. Because he has crushing blows like his throw crushing blow or his shoulder roll if you have that move. I mean, you can play shoulder roll and launcher as well if you don't care for the slide. The shoulder roll crushing blow, it stands them up the same way. So off that crushing blow, you can get like 40% for a bar like the same way. So I think this is probably his best move to have. But you can play him different ways if you want to. You can play him in a set play style. You can play him in just a brute damage. You know, you can play him in a command grab. I don't have the command grab in this variation. But you can play him in a grab style where you have 2 grab strings. You have a command grab where you're just throwing people all over. But remember, all those throws are highs. But yeah, Rambo's a solid character. I don't think he's like top tier, but I think he's solid. He's got some 11 frame mids. Even though this mid can whiff because of this upward hitbox, it can be 0 on block, which is kind of crazy for an 11 frame mid. Like to do this and be 0 on block. It says -1, but I can get it to 0. There we go. Be 0 on block, and then from here go into like this. And if they try to mash it down 1 or something, all of a sudden they got whiff punished into 32% damage, or into a crushing blow drop kick for 40%. Like, it's pretty good. Like, Rambo can do some obnoxious things. He's pretty good. He's fine. He's viable. I wish they would fix some of his like hurt box issues like this, or hitbox issues with like his whiffing and all that, which is what took me so long to do this guy in the first place. I wanted to wait for that to get fixed, but they've shown that they're not gonna fix it. So yeah, if you like the solid character, if you want to have some zoning, you can zoning, you control. If you want some good damage, if you want a launcher, if you want some ghetto mix-ups, go for it. I wouldn't advise going for the unsafe stuff because this is -1 billion on block. But you get in neutral, this is basically a projectile, and if it lands, you get a combo, right? You can dash up and get one. So anyway, that's Rambo. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all enjoyed the content, please subscribe. I might do some guides on some other characters later on, but these were the last 3, so I wanted to make sure I did these. And I play all 3. I play Rain, I play Molina, and I play Rambo. They're all really fun in their own ways. Well, Rain's kind of frustrating because he has issues, but he's probably the best of the 3, right? He's really powerful. Molina's really good too, and Rambo's solid. None of these characters I think are low tier. That's the thing. None of these characters are like, oh God, I play Rambo. Like, you know, if the character's gonna hold you back type bad, you just have to see what style to play him. Like, you gotta know what to do. They don't have those type of issues. Sure, it would be nice if you could use this string, or if you could use this string, it would be nice, but he has another 11 frame mid string with you can stagger pretty well, aside from people mashing low pokes. But then he has a 12 frame mid string, which you can stagger as well because it's -6. And then the second it usually comes out, by the time they realize, you can, you know what I mean? You can do this into nothing. You can cancel this into something if they mash. Like, he's got stuff. You just gotta know. Like, you can't just, oh, I can't do this, he's bad, or I can't do this, he's bad. Like, I play Rambo, I never do this string, and I never do this string, and I play him just fine. I don't even use this string very much. I should use it more, right? -6. Whole thing -7. The only thing is you can't stagger off the second because it's -9. But why would you want to do it? Well, yeah, you can. Nobody's going to read that and punish you. But anyway, yeah, Rambo's got some good stuff, man. If y'all enjoy it, like I said, sub to the channel. Y'all, other than that, man, y'all have a good one. Get out there and play some Rambo. Peace.